Hi, good afternoon to all. This is a Manikera, lecturer in economics, working in Andhra Pradesh Residential Junior College, Nagarjuna Sagar. So today, as in our second year economics, unit 3, that is national income, the concept of national income already which we are going to explain. In the last class, we have left some portion, that is inequalities in national income. And there are different estimations of national income in India during different periods, during 1950s, during 1960s, and during 1973, 74, and later. How all these estimations with regard to national income, how inequalities in the national income, it exists. So, in this chapter, we would like to explain the continuation part of unemployment. What is the meaning of unemployment? Unemployment also, it is a major problem which India is facing. What is the meaning of unemployment? What is the definitions of unemployment? And how unemployment can be calculated? And what are the different concepts of unemployment? All these things which we are going to explain in this chapter in detail. First, we would like to understand unemployment in India. Unemployment in India. What is the meaning of unemployment? It means excess supply of labor over demand for labor. Excess supply of labor over demand for labor. The problem of unemployment is the fundamental problem. Of economic development. The main aim of almost all the economic theories to reduce unemployment, to achieve social justice. By removal of unemployment, every country and India is struggling a lot. What is the definition of unemployment? According to Professor A.C. Pigu, definition of A.C. Pigu defined unemployment. A man is unemployed only when he is not employed. A man is unemployed only when he is not employed and desire to be employed. A man is willing to work but he could not find any job, then he become unemployed. A man is willing to do any type of job, but he could not find any job, that is unemployed. Unemployment is more in number of underdeveloped countries. Like India. India is suffering chronic unemployment. Or disguised unemployment. Disguised unemployment generally we could see in agricultural sector, in rural areas, as well as the existence of urban unemployment among educated people. Urban unemployment also there among educated people. So therefore, unemployment is a major problem. India is facing a lot of unemployment problem. Every year, people, they are coming with certificates produced by different universities. different institutions. People, they are coming with certificates. They are already educational qualifications. According to their educational qualifications, there is no employment opportunities in the market. Employment opportunities in the market. Our market is just small to provide jobs for all the people who are already completed their bachelor degree or BE or BTech or MTech or MBA or PhD, whatever their qualifications, but market is very small. Excuse me. So in this way, our India is facing a lot of unemployment problem. There is a mismatch between present education system and the jobs available in the market. So under this situation, we have to understand the different concepts of unemployment. Concepts of unemployment. Different concepts of unemployment. NSSO evolved certain concepts and standardized them to measure unemployment. NSSO, National Sample Survey of Organization, has evolved certain methods to calculate unemployment. First one is usual status concept. Usual status unemployment. Usual status unemployment means the concept is used to measure chronic or longer unemployment. Usual status unemployment, it explains it is a chronic or longer unemployment. It is generally, we could see, in open unemployment. Then coming to weekly status concept. First one is usual status unemployment, which can be seen in open unemployment. Generally people, they become unemployed entire the year. It is a chronic unemployment or it is a long-term unemployment. We can say it is a open unemployment. If we see in a village, more people, completion of 10th class, completion of intermediate, completion of degree, completion of other qualified people are there, but they are not doing any jobs because our job market is very small. Some people, they don't have any skills. They don't have suit for any type of job which are available for in India. Then coming to second one is weekly status concept. Weekly status concept. According to this, person who do not find work even an hour or in a day during the survey week. A person, he could not find a work even an hour or in a day during survey week. It may be appropriate of measurement to the seasonal unemployment. Seasonal unemployment generally we could see in agriculture sector. Seasonal unemployment means during Kharif season people will engage agriculture works. Then after coming to Rabi, meantime people, they don't have any jobs, any works in rural areas. They have to take rest. Otherwise they have to migrate some other places. In our Andhra Pradesh, majority of the people, they migrate from their own village to other places. See, for example, from Srikakulam, Vishakhapatnam and Vizianagaram, people after their work completion during Kharif, remaining time they have to change work in East Godavari, West Godavari, Guntur and Krishna. Because in these 4 districts, water availability is there, lot of multi-crop system is there. So always, in all seasons, people if they find any job, any work, they can find. East and West Godavari, Krishna and Gunturu, entire year people they can engage. So therefore, majority of the people, this coastal Andhra, they are moving to Krishna, Gunturu, East and West Godavari to find job, agricultural works. So that is seasonal unemployment. Then coming to daily status concept. Daily status concept. Daily status concept. So, if a person who works at least for 1 hour, but not less than 4 hours and more during a day, he is considered to be an employee. Daily status concept, it explains a person who worked at least 1 hour, but not less than 4 hours or more can be treated as employee. It is an appropriate concept of measure of underemployment. Underemployment means a person is well qualified but is doing job as a clerk. For example, one person is studied MTech but is joined as a attender. That job is called underemployment. Underemployment means a person is willing to join beyond his qualifications. That is called underemployment. In India, underemployment is there. Nobody is getting jobs according to their qualifications because unemployed people are more to change jobs. So job opportunities in the market is very less. Few jobs are available in the market. So therefore, nowadays, every institution they are conducting different recruitment exams. Exams will be there. If you apply that exam, if you write that exam, if you pass, then finally they have to call for an interview. If you will be succeeded in interview, then personal interview or group discussions. There are a lot of screening tests will be there to select individuals in a job market. So therefore, this is all the concepts of unemployment. Usual status concept generally it is long-term or chronic unemployment. Probably it is a open unemployment. Then coming to weekly status. Weekly status means weekly. It is always a seasonal unemployment. Then coming to daily status concept. Daily status concept, if a person is engaged even 1 hour, not less than 4 hours or more, he can be treated as employed. But it is a underemployment. Then coming to one important thing is unemployment rate in India. Unemployment rate in India. Unemployment rate in India. Unemployment rate in India average 7.58% from 1983 up to 2012. So on an average, in India, the unemployment rate average, it is 7.58% from 1983 to 2012 and 2012, reaching all-time high, that is 9.4%. 9.4%, and again it has reduced. Then coming to the unemployment rate in India during 1977-78 year. 1977-78 and 1987-88, then coming to 1999 and 2000 and 2004 to 2005, 2011 to 2012 years. Rural area, urban area and total. Rural, urban, total. Rural, urban and total. Rural and urban total. Current daily status. This is UPS. UPS. Usual principal status. Usual principal status. Whereas current daily status. CDS. 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 Current daily status. Same as rural, urban and total. Rural, urban and total. CDS means current daily status. UPS means usual principal status. Usual principal status. Usual principal status. If we see the usual principal status during 1977-78, it is only 4.23%. It has been reducing by 2011 and 2012. It is 2.7%. 2.7% as a total. If we see the rural and urban areas, in rural area the unemployment rate is gradually reducing, whereas in urban area the unemployment rate has been increasing. At the same time, the current daily status also same in rural, urban and total. So in total during 1977 and 78 it is 8.18%, and it has reduced to 5.6. So if we compare the usual principal status and current daily status is higher than the usual principal status. Usual principal status is lower, whereas current daily status is higher. Current daily status is higher in rural area, urban area, even in total. Then coming to employment and unemployment in India. 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 Employment. What is employment? When a person is willing to work at a prevailing wage rate. What is employment and what is unemployment? Employment means when a person is willing to work at any work for the prevailing rate in the market. If he could find any job, then he will be employed. A person is willing to work any type of job at a prevailing wage rate. మార్కెట్లో అమల్లో ఉన్నటువంటి వేతన రేటుకి ఒక వ్యక్తి పనిచేయడానికి సిద్ధంగా ఉన్నట్లయితే ఆయన్ని మనం ఉద్యోగి అని మనం పిలుస్తాం. Whereas unemployment means when a person is willing to work but he could not find any job. A person is willing to work at a prevailing wage rate. అప్పటికి అందుబాటులో ఉన్నటువంటి వేతన రేటు ఏ వ్యక్తి అయితే పని చేయడానికి సిద్ధంగా ఉంటాడో ఆ పని అందుబాటులో లేకపోయినట్లయితే ఆయన మనం అన్ఎంప్లాయీ అని మనం పిలవడం జరుగుతుంది. అన్ఎంప్లాయీ. If a person is willing to work but he could not find any job, then he will be called as unemployed person. Most of the unemployment in India is a structural. Most of the unemployment is in India is a structural unemployment. నిర్మాణాత్మకమైనటువంటి నిరుద్యోగిత భారతదేశంలో ఉంది. స్ట్రక్చరల్ అన్ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ arises, there is a drastic change in the economic structure of a country due to abnormal changes in demand. The structural unemployment has been existed because of abnormal changes in demand. If there is a much demand for a certain goods and services, demand always it changes. Today, there is a more demand for petrol and diesel, more demand for fruits, more demand for vegetables and other things, more demand for gold. But there is less demand for salt, less demand for matchbox, less demand for postcard, less demand for inland letter, less demand for some other things. There is a more demand for cell phones, Android cell phones. There is a more demand for laptops, more demand for new technical gadgets. So demand always it has been changing. So due to abnormal changes, the structural unemployment has been existed. If we could see the different types of unemployment. If we see urban unemployment, rural unemployment, Again, urban unemployment can be it is a educated unemployment. Educated unemployment. Industrial unemployment. Under urban unemployment, educated unemployment, there are unemployed people among educated people. There are unemployed among industrial people. Even industries, there is a lot of unemployment. Then coming to rural unemployment. Rural unemployment also can be classified into two. Rural unemployment. One is seasonal unemployment. Seasonal unemployment, and the second one is disguised unemployment. ప్రచ్ఛన్న నిరుద్యోగిత. Seasonal unemployment and in rural area, seasonal unemployment and disguised unemployment can be seen in agriculture sector. Whereas in urban area, educated unemployment and industrial unemployment will be there tremendously. tremendously. Then coming to estimation of poverty. Estimation of poverty ratio. Estimation of poverty ratio. Estimation of poverty ratio. Estimation of poverty ratio. Estimation. How we can estimate poverty? A common method used to estimate poverty is India is based on income and consumption. Poverty can be estimated by two things. One is incomes and consumption. Incomes and consumptions, if they fall below the minimum, there the individuals can be below the poverty line. If the incomes and consumptions fall below the minimum that households can be below poverty line. In a major exercise, estimated poverty in India, wide survey has been undertaken in different governments, that is captured by household necessities to amenities of including nutrition, drinking water and housing, cooking fuel. UNDP and MPI. UNDP means United Nations Development Program. UNDP. MPE means multi-dimensional monthly per capita income. Monthly per capita income. Based on monthly per capita income 2004 and 2005 and 2005 and 2006, 2012, 13 and 2015 and 16. So in India, the poverty estimation, it is nearly 29%. 21% of people, they are under below poverty line. That is Suresh Tendulkar method. And 2005 and 2006, 55%. Again, the people who are under below poverty line, it has been increased from 21 to 55%. And again, there is a study that is 2012 and 2013, nearly 29%. 29.07%. C. Rangarajan Committee, they have estimated poverty during the year 2012 and 2013. It is nearly 29.7%. Then again, 2015 and 16, recent estimation of poverty ratio, that is nearly 29%. 27%. 27.9%. So these are the studies they have estimated, that is poverty ratio, estimation of poverty ratio, whereas the estimation of poverty ratio and the number of poor at the national level of the year, that is 1993-94 and again 2004 and 2005, 2009 and 2010, then finally 2011 and 2012, that is poverty ratio in rural area, urban area, in total, if we see the during 93 and 94, the total poverty ratio it is 45.3%, whereas in the year 2011 and 2012 it is only 21.9%. 21.9%. The number of poor in millions during 93-94 it is 328.6 billions. 328.6 millions. That is in the year 93-94. When it comes to the 2011 and 2012, it is 216.7%. 7 billions. Then the total number of poor in millions, that is 1993-94, 403.1 millions. It has come down to 269.8 millions. 269.8 millions during 2011 and 2012. 2011 and 2012. Then coming to the poverty gap index. Poverty gap index. Poverty gap index. Gap. Poverty gap index. What is the meaning of poverty gap index? Poverty gap index, it is poverty gap index is defined by the mean distance below the poverty line. Mean distance below the poverty line. It expresses the intensity of poverty. It expresses the intensity of the poverty, or the people who are under below poverty line. Who are under below poverty line. It reflects the depths of poverty. It reflects the depths of the poverty or incidence of the poverty. Incidence of the poverty. It is the poverty gap index is a insensitive. The poverty gap index is a insensitive or non-responsive to extent of inequalities among the poor. So the income is transferred from someone to poor, the poverty gap index cannot be changed. If the income is transferred from somebody to poor people, the poverty gap index cannot be changed. Because of poverty gap index is a non-responsive. It cannot be changed. Say for example, A, B, C, D, 4 persons, 4 individuals are there. Their incomes are 1,000 rupees. A is having 1,000 rupees. B is having 600 rupees. C is having 100 rupees. Whereas D is having 50 rupees. 50 rupees. So, among these 4 people, 4 individuals, whose income is high? Whose income is high? A. Individual A income is high, that is 1,000 rupees. Then second, B is having 600 rupees. Whereas C and D, these two people incomes are low. In what way these two people's incomes will increase? Poverty gap index. There is a lot of gap. D person, if the D person is reaching to A, what is the gap? Nearly 950 rupees. 950 rupees, it is a gap. Compare with B person. It is 550 rupees. There is a gap. 550 rupees, there is a gap. So how C and D can come out from the poverty? How they can come out from the poverty? So government also, they have to focus on the BPL families. Therefore, nowadays every state government and every country, they are focusing lot on poor people, because they are low income people. They cannot access anything in their locality. So government has to focus. They are the targeted people. So for them, there is a public distribution system. White ration card will be given. So under that, lot of things can be distributed. And if there is no land, even land also given to the poor people. During 1970s, 80s, even 90s, land reforms have been undertaken in favor of poor people. Land has been distributed to the poor to uplift their economic well-being, to increase their standard of living. And a lot of money schemes also nowadays state government has been introducing on the name of different schemes. Money has been directly coming into the poor people's accounts. All these things implementing by different governments to increase the poor people, their standard of living, in order to take them to above poverty line, not below poverty line. So this is poverty gap index. It is a mean distance of below poverty line. It is an extent of poverty. It is a depth of poverty. So all state governments, they have to focus on to take those people into some extent. Then coming to finally the microfinance, the role of microfinance. Microfinance, eradication of poverty. Role of microfinance, eradication of rural poverty. What is the meaning of microfinance? So microfinance, as we know, it is a financial provision. For low income groups, including consumers and self-employed and petty business people, whose rationally lack to access banking and other related services. Not getting any banking and other institutional services. Generally, microfinance, it covers a wide range of services like credit, savings, insurance, remittance. And non-functional services like trainings and counseling. But credit, savings and insurance. Credit can be supplied to the poor people, and savings also, it encourages them to save their money, and insurance also it provides microfinance. Then remittance means it is a payment. Say for example, people who settled in abroad, Indians, some people they settle in abroad, or Kerala people they settle in abroad, Saudi Arabia, they send money to their home. They send money to their people, their family members who are already in Kerala. So that is, it is a payment of money to send other countries who settled in different countries, home countries. So then coming to the features of microfinance. Just now we have seen what is the meaning of microfinance. It is a financial provision to give poor people who are not access to get banking services. So what are the features of microfinance? Number one is borrowers are generally they come from low income groups. Low income groups. Loans are of small amount. The loan is always, it is a small amount, micro loans. Then short duration period. Short duration period. Then coming to loans are offered without collateral. Loans are offered without collateral, without any security. Without any security, poor people, they can get loan from microfinance. Then high frequency of the repayment. High frequency. Weekly or 2 weeks or monthly. High frequency. Frequency will be there to repay microfinance loans from poor people. Then coming to loans are generally taken for income generating activities. Generally poor people, why they take loan from micro institutions, microfinance, generally for income generating activities. What is the need of microfinance? What is the need of microfinance? Need of microfinance. There are a lot of studies. Even World Bank also, they have conducted a study on microfinance. The people who took loan from microfinance institutions, their standard of living has been increased, and women have become empowered, and the poor people, they are able to send their children into English medium schools, and their poverty, it has been reduced. So there are a lot of successful stories while implementing this microfinance, because microfinance, it is always available to the doorstep of the poor people, whereas institutional finance, that is government banks, if they give any loan, they have to follow lot of obstacles, they have to follow the different rules. So by avoiding all these obligatory and rules, simply poor people, they have to approach the microfinance, because microfinance, it is always going into the village and find out who wants money. Poor people, generally they approach the microfinance people. So there are a lot of things, because microfinance always, it is institutional service for employment of. Why these people, they generally, poor people, they need financial services? Because of for consumption purpose and building of assets, and to protection against risk. One is for consumption purpose and to building assets and to protection against risk. ఏదైనా రిస్క్ లో నుంచి బయటపడటం కోసం they are taking loans from micro financial institutions. Then coming to the channels of microfinance. Channels of microfinance. Channels of microfinance. What are the channels of microfinance? Generally linkage. If a group, generally self-help groups, SHGs. Self-help groups, as we know, in Andhra Pradesh and many places, self-help groups are there. Swayam Sahayika Sanghalu. They are comprising nearly 10 to 15 members will be there. They will come together. They start giving loan amount. They have to pay to the group leaders every month 30 rupees or 50 rupees or 100 rupees. They have to keep that amount in one place or along with the group leaders. After 1 year or 2 years, that money will be rotated among all the group members. They have to rotate that money with a small interest. Then finally, when the group is functioning well, then nearby NGOs, that is non-governmental organizations, or NABARD, it is a bank, a National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. NABARD people, they have to ask that group, if your group is functioning well, we will give loans. So bank linkage will be there. Then microfinance, it is microfinance also, as we know that microfinance, so it is a joint liability groups. Even banks and microfinance institutions also give loans through joint liability groups. Joint liability groups. Credit or finance cannot be given to one individual. It is an assurance given by the whole group. It is joint liability. If one individual cannot pay the loan, the responsibility will be coming upon to all the members. All 10 members or 15 members, they have to held responsible to repay its loan. So in this way, microfinance, it is an important thing for poor people. Then what are the benefits and what are the merits and demerits of microfinance? Merits and demerits. Merits and demerits of microfinance. Merits and demerits. Merits and demerits of microfinance. So there are a lot of merits also there. Since the inception of microfinance, the concept has been initiated by Muhammad Yunus. Yunus is the father of microfinance. It belongs to Bangladesh. There, the microfinance concept has been successfully implemented. India also, it has adopted the concept. Okay, Muhammad Yunus is the recipient of Nobel Prize in the concept of microfinance. What are the merits and demerits of microfinance? There are certainly some merits. Some merits are there with regard to microfinance. That is through microfinance, the low-income household families receiving microfinance, they are likely to send their children into government schools, and it has been improved their standard of living, and women also, they become empowered, and poverty also, it has been reduced through microfinance. There are a lot of benefits are there, but at the same time, there are some demerits also there. Through microfinance, when it has increased, it has not driven poor households into a debt trap. It is a microfinance forced to some households into debt trap, and microfinance failed to empower women. Microfinance also failed to empower women, and it has not improved the health and education. Finally, it has increased the number of suicides among women. Microfinance, it is recently, there was a lot of talk on microfinance. People also, they are entered into village, and they are making the women to commit suicides. Women's suicides also, it has been increased because of microfinance. So nowadays, microfinance institutions, there are merits and demerits are there. So with this, the national income concept has been completed. So far in this chapter, what are the things that we have discussed? First one is, what is national income? What is the meaning of national income? How national income can be calculated? What are the trends in national income? Then unemployment. What is the unemployment in India? And what is the role of unemployment in India? Employment and unemployment in India during 1983 to 2011 and 2012. Then again we have discussed that types of unemployment. Then coming to poverty ratio. What is the meaning of poverty ratio? Why people they become poor, and what circumstances they made them into poor? How they will come from their poverty level? Poverty ratio and poverty gap index. Why there is a gap between rich and poor. It has been increasing day by day. And finally we seen that what is the role of microfinance. Microfinance, how it contribute to the rural poor who are not having any access to the banking institutions, banking loans. So these people, how they are improved their standard of living. Whether microfinance is positively it worked out, or there are a lot of negative things also there, which has a threat to the rural women. Rural women. So in this chapter, we have some assignments. How poverty can be estimated? How poverty can be estimated? Who are the poor? What are the income inequalities? Why income inequalities are existed? Income inequalities are existed. How income inequalities can be estimated? Income inequalities are estimated. You go to the village, you can see the business people, landlords, teachers, even government employees, agriculture farmers, the people who are not having any assets. Only they are going to daily wage workers. They don't have any land, they don't have any assets, only they depends upon their labor. How their conditions are there. You can see, go to their home, how their conditions are there. How is their house? What are the amenities that they are having? Why it is happening? How income inequalities can be reduced? What is the role of the society? What is the role of a state? What is the role of a country? And poverty gap index. Why this gap has been increasing day by day? All these things we have to think. So education always, it makes people to think. So all these things please keep in mind and go through your textbooks. You read it, every concept thoroughly, then get the idea. Then you have to prepare for exams. So thank you very much for giving me these opportunities. We will meet in next video. Thank you all.